Hi, everyone. My name is Eron Iler, and I'm the president of Fleetistics. And today we're going to be talking with vehicle licensing consultants about the DQM Connect service. And Barry Oberg is the vice president of solutions development and a visionary. And Leanne Hill is a technical specialist and consultant. And we're simply going to talk about their service. We just recently did some business together, and I was impressed with not only the service itself, but with Barry and Leanne and the whole process. And I thought it would be a good idea to put some content out there so people that are managing fleets and drivers would be able to see and understand what DQM brings to the table and how it can benefit their fleet management practices. So, Barry, maybe start by telling us a little bit about your company and how you guys came about, and then see if you can summarize the DQM Connect service in like one or two sentences for the real quick, uh, interpretation of people that may know nothing about what you guys do.
Okay, great. Thank you, Aaron. We're vehicle licensing consultants. We've been around for about 23 years. Our focus is DOT compliance for the transportation industry. We're really well known for our listening and how we listen to our customers and develop solutions utilizing technology to simplify their lives and make sure that DOT compliance is there. A little bit about DQM. DQM is a software tool that empowers companies to do their DQ files themselves. And it also helps them onboard drivers in a fraction of the time that it normally takes in the current process. So DQM Connect was one of those solutions that we developed by listening to our customers.
And your solution actually starts with the recruiting process, correct? So you're helping them end to end with driver management.
Absolutely. I think one of the unique characteristics is having an online application. It's not just an application you download as a PDF. It's truly a smart application. A DOT application is very complicated, and there's a lot of back and forth that goes between drivers and the admin team for the company. Data is probably one of the most critical aspects. We do not share data with any other companies do, and we're the only company out there that will actually tout that we are HIPAA compliant. So there's a lot of aspects built into our software to make sure that it is HIPAA compliant.
Okay. And Leanne, tell us about the recruiting process and how you guys have streamlined that aspect. You guys were telling me about some pretty neat stuff that you do, like at trade shows or recruiting events and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the recruiting side, we allow trucking companies to basically have their own kind of pool of applicants. We give them a custom portal and they attach that to any job posting or website link that allows applicants to go directly to their DQM portal and again, submit that compliant application right from the start.
So they're filling out an electronic application, correct? And it's going into a database in a portal where the company can then take a look at it. So there's not a situation where someone's handing in a resume. That resume's got to then be manually scanned with OCR and then put into a database. I mean, you guys are collecting that information right there on the spot. And in a very competitive environment like trucking, you may be able to process some of that significantly faster than your competition who may be doing it the old way. And you might be able to get these interviews set up and get the best of the group to interview and to potentially hire faster than your competition might be able to do otherwise, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why our customers really love having that instant visibility to any applicant. Again, they have instant visibility and they can take them through that onboarding process extremely faster than, the typical way it's done today.
Barry, one of the things that I recognized in DQM was the automation that you guys have built in for ongoing management of the drivers. There's like insurance checks, background checks, license checks, all those things that are normally done fairly manually. But you guys have done integrations to services and things like that. Tell us a little bit about how you guys have streamlined that process.
It also starts with that hiring process, right? One of the things that in the old style is that you collect the application, and then after that's been done, then you go back to the driver and get their signatures for background checks, MVRs, drug and alcohol, all those things. We collect those signatures right in the beginning. And through whether you're an applicant or a driver, it's a push of a button that you can ask for a background check or an MVR, motor vehicle record, or a drug and alcohol test through our integrated partners.
Right. So a fleet administrator can go into your web portal anytime. There's probably, I think you got reminders in there, like let's say something's due every 6 months or once a year, then you're getting reminders that they need to run the MVR, and they can just basically click a button. It runs the MVR, brings the information back and displays it in the portal. And that whole process just took, seconds. Is that how it works?
Yeah. I think the workflow aspect is very strong, and that everything ends up in the driver file, pending a review by the admin, which is required. I think as you're referring to as our automated renewal process for all the licensing and background checks and whether it's a TWIC card, hazmat card, those types of things, medical cert, all those reminders are directed directly to the driver. And you get plenty of notices starting at 105 days out from that renewal date. And once that, it empowers a driver to go get their license renewed, take a picture of it it uploads right to their file. And so all that workflow is minimized. It's a fraction of the time versus what trucking companies are doing.
So do you find that most fleet operations that are doing things the old way can actually reduce the number of people that are required to administer a fleet because they implement your platform?
I would say from the start to the finish, you can expect almost a 50% reduction in time from a driver filling out an application to an admin managing those renewals and the files to a DOT auditor auditing a driver file. Everybody wins in this software right from the beginning.
So obviously a 50% reduction in payroll is going to, pay for the platform many times over, whether it be through attrition or, reallocating human resources to different areas. I mean, that ROI just sounds like a no-brainer. Leanne, how long does it take to onboard somebody?
What do you mean, like typically, or using the DQM platform?
With the DQM platform, somebody says, all right, I want your product, I want your solution. Is it 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months? What's that process look like?
Yeah, so to implement DQM for a trucking company, it actually can happen in a matter of minutes. We really build the portal as soon as we get a signed agreement, we build their portal, and then we ask them for their logo and then their driver list. And as soon as we upload a list of their drivers, then the system starts immediately working for you. You get that instant ROI with the managed renewals. So the system's going to automatically start tracking those and give you an ROI. So really the setup is not much than just a few days to get everything.
Okay. And can you comment on DOT audits? Because that's a big, scary thing for a lot of trucking companies, or, fleet companies. What have you seen with past audits that your customers have experienced?
Yeah, so in the past, typically trucking companies are still managing DQ files on paper. So in today's world, if they have a DOT auditor come, they kind of have to scramble and make sure that everything is matched up in their file, everything's in order. So that can be really tedious and stressful for anybody. Within DQM, we make it really easy for you to prepare for an audit. It's actually just a click of a button. You select the drivers that the auditor is looking for, and the system will put them onto an auditor-only dashboard, which allows the auditor to go in there and see anything they need for DOT compliance.
But it's just those specific drivers with the specific time window that he's looking for. So he's not seeing anything else that is outside of that where he could start picking apart things and looking at things. Yeah, that just sounds way easier than pulling papers together and trying to assemble that. When you are entering information into DQM, do you have built-in checks and balances to make sure that, if you make a change, the change is logged and who made it, or, any kind of adjustments that get made. So when the audit report is generated, essentially that it's already been reconciled.
Yeah, absolutely. So every time that a user actually logs into DQM, anything that they do in the system, it's going to be tracked. So let's say that we were reviewing an application and I log in as Leanne. Every section that I review, the system's going to log that I reviewed that section to hold me accountable.
Okay. And what would you guys say are the top couple reasons as to why customers come from different platforms over to your platform? It's really easy to see why you would go from paper to what you guys do, but how about from other competitive platforms, solutions, or way of doing business and coming over to what you guys have to offer?
I would say number one is simplicity. When you see how simple the system is to use and to train,
Mhm.
it's really a no-brainer. Most of the competitors that are out there are full service type solutions.
Mhm.
And so the second reason is the empowerment. So instead of hiring a source to look at your files and make sure that they're all there and send you an email through a list that, hey, these are the files that are missing, and then you have that going back and forth. You can literally, you're empowered to do that yourself. So it saves a lot of time. It saves a lot of frustration. I think those are the two. And I would say the last one is that they do not want to share their driver files with any other company. So they're losing drivers to other companies because those applications are being shared among multiple companies versus your applications are your applicants, and only your applicants, your
I can
drivers.
see a scenario where if you've turned your fleet over to like a fleet leasing company and they're doing all of this for you, that sounds so attractive. But anytime that something extra is needed, like you're going to go through a DOT audit and they've got to spend the time to pull all that information together, you're going to have to spend time going back and forth and trying to control the information that's being done. But I suspect they probably end up billing you too, because it's kind of a project that is thrust upon them. Whereas you guys go in, and I've seen you hit the button. It literally is just click the button, and here's this wonderful report. Have you ever had a customer not pass a DOT inspection with your platform?
Not to this point.
Yeah, excellent.
No. So
Okay, and as the visionary, it's in your title. So, you have any secret projects that you want to reveal to the world right here?
I think that the biggest number one thing is that we want to continue listening to our customers. Our customers will direct us the direction that the software needs to go, and the software will never end. It will continue to grow based on where the industry is going. Over this last year in particular, all the conferences and things that we went to, safety was such a big topic. So tracking accidents and citations and those types of things are already built into the software. And we have a lot of enhancements coming, as well as training. Training is a huge topic, and all the companies are looking at their training programs today. How can they improve it to be beyond just checking a box that, hey, my driver went to training, but more of that learning experience? Are the drivers actually learning what we're teaching them? I think those are some really key attributes and things that if we can report on that, collect that information, and report on it, that area is really going to grow in our software. And I think the next thing is the ongoing integration. The vision is to really only enter the driver in one spot, and then it's integrated with all your other systems, GeoTab, of course, and that so it updates those driver lists at every aspect of your operation.
Right. Okay, well, very good. I think that would give a lot of people a really comfortable feeling that taking a look at DQM is a worthwhile time investment. I can tell you from my own personal experience doing software development and having looked at a lot of systems over the last 22 years doing this, that DQM immediately struck me as a software solution that was super well designed, easy, intuitive, and I would say probably, I would actually put it in the #1 software spot that I've seen in a long time for all of those different types of things. So We certainly appreciate your time and hope that people reach out and give you guys a call or call us at Fleetistics, and we'll make the connection for you. And thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity. Appreciate it.
Sure thing, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.